Hi, Internet. Welcome to the Troyan YouTube channel. It is Thin Lizzy Thursday. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel over the years. For those who didn't see the latest post, this channel is now eligible for monetization, which is super exciting, except in the case of Thin Lizzy Thursdays, in which they're basically all ineligible for monetization. For those who don't know, who think, oh, the reactors make the big bucks, most reaction videos do not make any money on YouTube. They're demonetized. All the money goes to the artists. So the good news is, if you're watching this and a Thin Lizzy fan, the money is going towards, the families of the band members and the band members themselves. So they're all getting a cut off of these Thin Lizzy Thursdays. But Greg is not getting a cut. If you want to support your buddy Greg, make sure you watch some of my other non-reaction videos on the channel. Just put one on, let a couple ads play, and I will get like 2 cents. So if you want to support your buddy Greg and you don't want to do Patreon, you can definitely do that. But still excited for the, potential future of the channel. But for those who are worried about, Greg's just going to go chase the money, still going to be doing Thin Lizzy Thursdays. You guys have been here supporting me all this time, and I'm happy to keep going through this project with you. I think it's a, worthy catalog to do this for. So, for today's song, I have no idea what we're doing. As far as the random music we're listening to, we're going to listen to a relatively obscure band called Snake Rock. LA band, never quite fully made it, but they, had some cool tunes. So, hey, let's check out Snake Rock, and, we'll see what Lizzy's song we'll listen to this week. And pausing for copyright purposes. Alright, so thank you, Snake Rock. Alright, so we've got Bladstar Riders. We're going to have 2 videos in a row with not that many views. First the tier ranking, now this. So this is Tonight the Moonlight Let Me Down off the 4th Bladstar Riders album, Another State of Grace. We still have so much Bladstar Riders on this list, you guys. Oh man, so much Bladstar Riders. They haven't, most of their tracks have not really impressed us on this channel. Even, those of us who try to stay positive towards the band, it's been a lot of mid. But, this looks like this was a single. You know what, let's check it out. Let's go with good energy, good vibes, and hope it is a great song.
Back in the days of no surrender, wish
Okay, so about a minute 22 into the song, um, I like the riff. I think the riff is very good. It's a very good riff. I like the way it builds when they add in the harmony guitar onto it. And I like the chord choices. The chord choices are nice. The melodies are fine, but the thing is, the verses and choruses are way too samey. Where it's like it's not a bad verse, it's not a bad chorus, but they aren't distinct enough where like you're really excited to move on from one section to the next. In that you definitely are ready to move on to a chorus by the time you're done with the verse. But when you get to the chorus, it's like, oh, it's like not really much better than the verse. It doesn't have much more energy than the verse. Like, there's not like, okay, this is the sing along chorus, this is the verse. Like, the amount of energy you're getting is pretty even, and you want it to elevate a little bit on the chorus. And so it's not really quite getting there. And, I mean, lyrically, it's fine, but I think sort of the problem here is that I think there's a similar sentimentality to what Phil might do lyrically, but there's not like the color and the flavor and spice to make it interesting. Like, I don't know, Phil would have like an interesting turn of phrase or a more sophisticated vocabulary that would get the idea across. And so you have sort of this desire to be heartfelt, but the lyricism doesn't quite excite you, and it just comes off as unfortunately a little bit bland. Is the problem? I really, I wonder if we should do Black Star Riders on this channel simply for the fact that like I want to maintain general positivity, and I just find a lot of the stuff to just be okay, and I don't want to rag on someone else's art because obviously there's effort, there's heart put into this, they care about it. um and I prefer to just be putting positivity out into the world. And if I'm reviewing something and then I'm just like not as into it, am I, you know is it more important to be honest, or is it more important to be positive? And I think I lean more towards being positive, um as I'm getting older, because someone else might be deeply moved by this. Somebody else might love this piece, and I don't want to be the negative Nancy necessarily. Yeah, just unfortunately, just like I'm not that into it. Yeah, just the lyrics, like I appreciate some of the sentimentality behind, like, do you remember making out under stormy weather? Like, I mean, I've been listening to a ton of Taylor Swift lately as doing, in preparation for the live stream podcast that we do, but also because I genuinely enjoy her music, and at this point could call myself a Swiftie. And she has so many songs about just like, being caught in a rainstorm as like a metaphor for love. And that's really great stuff. And so I understand like the core of what is being done here, but it's not being done in a way lyrically where I find it interesting, a way melodically where I find it interesting. And, on the Taylor Swift podcasts, I'm like one of the only guys who finds the melodies of her music interesting and the lyrics interesting. And the rest of the people on the panel feel, well, except for maybe like one other panelist, feel more the way that a lot of us feel about Blast the Rise, which is just like, it's fine, and but like it doesn't move them in the way that like Taylor Swift moves me and millions of people. This just it's sort of it's just okay is the problem. And if it was just like all and out bad, you could just tear it apart. And if it was great, you could gush over it. But the like mid is like the worst place to be. And then just like some of these lines, like you're always laughing but you never smile, you're always crying but you never cry. Just like that just comes off as a little bit unsophisticated, to say the least. It doesn't come across. It comes off as trying to be clever without being clever. And I think the reason why this doesn't offend me as much as like a lot of other music that like that's one of the things that really annoys me with music is when something tries to be clever but isn't. Is that this is trying to be clever but like trying to be heartfelt versus a lot of stuff that's trying to be clever is just trying to show you how smart the person is. Versus this is trying to be clever and heartfelt. So they're not trying to show you how intelligent they are, they're just trying to show you how much heart they have. And I think that they're succeeding in a way because I do sense the sentimentality, but they're failing in the execution of making it interesting.
Always the one. Whatever you did, you should always have done. Wherever you went, you should never have gone. I can't wait till you come back home. Tonight the moonlight let me down. I'm still here and you're not around. You're out of sight and you're out of sound. Tonight the moonlight let me down. Tonight the moonlight let me down. I'm still here and you're not around. You're out of sight and you're out of sound. Tonight the
All right, that instrumental section was good, and I liked the incorporation of sax. That was pretty cool. I think it is a good riff. I think this is one of the best riffs they've ever done. So, you know, that section was really good. Let's go back and play that again.
Tonight the moonlight let me down. Tonight the moonlight let me down. I'm still here and you're not around. You're out of sight and you're out of sound.
I wonder if that was a real sax player or if that was MIDI, because the tone sounded a little bit weird.
Tonight the moonlight let me down. Tonight the moonlight let me down. Whatever you've been, you were always the one. Whatever you did, you should always have done. Wherever you went, you should never have gone. I can't wait till you come back home. Tonight the moonlight let me down. I'm still here and you're not around. You're out of sight and you're out of sound. Tonight the moonlight let me down. Tonight the moonlight let me down. I'm still here and you're not around. You're out of sight and you're out of sound.
Okay, so that was Tonight the Moonlight Let Me Down. In many ways, this song let me down. Haha, jokes. So there are some very good elements. I think the riff is very good. I think the chord choices are good. I think the usage of different instrumentation, like the sax, I think that was a great addition to the song. I don't know if it necessarily fit as well as, let's say, saxophone does on Dancing in the Moonlight. I don't know if it was an essential piece, but it definitely made the song more interesting. But I wonder if that is, in some ways, covering up that, like, aside from, like, the, you know, good riff and good chord choices, there's really not much here in terms of song. Like, the melody isn't there, the verses aren't strong, the chorus isn't strong. So you've got, like, a really good riff and some chords. But that's not enough for a great song. And then you have maybe like, you know, that interesting saxophone like sort of covering up, you know, I don't think it was done maliciously. Like I don't think like we're going to hide the fact the song is, you know, mediocre by adding some saxophone. I don't think that's what they were trying to do. But that's unfortunately the way it's coming across to me, is that like you're adding all this like window dressing to it when you forgot to like cook the main course, which is the, the hooks and the melody and the lyrics. And so it's like you have all these good toppings, but it's like a burger but without the patty. And for me it'd be a veggie burger because I'm vegetarian. So like you've got lettuce, you've got tomato, you've got like a nice, unique sauce. Like, the saxophone's like a garlic aioli, like something that gives it a little bit extra flavor. But you're missing the main course. And I think that's where this, falters for me, is that main course isn't there. So ultimately, let's see here. Ultimately, I ended up like pretty much knowing where I was going to put this before the guitar solo, and then I really liked the guitar solo and the saxophone. I thought I might move it up, but I think, oops, nope, that wasn't what I want to do. Yeah, I think it's still going to be like towards the bottom of C rank, and it's just not as good of a song as Hoodoo Voodoo, like as a complete piece. And I'm not into that song, but that's just it's unfortunately a better written song. Even though like I have biases against it, I don't like the subject matter. I don't like those kind of songs in general. It is more competently written. Um, I very much enjoy a lot of elements of the song, but as a complete package, it just it unfortunately just doesn't do it for me, and I'm a bit disappointed because, like I said, I want to be positive, but I'm just it's this one just there was potential to make a really good song here with some of these elements, but the finished product just unfortunately just does not do it for me. So, definitely let me know what you think of this one in the comments below if it worked for you. Just let's get the discussion going, and I'll see you guys next week for the next Thin Lizzy Thursday. Bye, everyone.